None of us really know. None of us really know.
I know.
No, I know. Perfect timing, Keith.
Keith, what's up?
Your favorite movie of all time, F9.
Oh, good.
How is there any other choice than Remember the Titans being number one?
I'm curious.
I'm spoiling mine, but
Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good, good
I'm
question,
not even
Brian.
done talking.
you shouldn't be talking at this point.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Apocalypse Now, the movie hangout show. And literally, what is going on? This is a new host every week. It's like you're entering a different part of the multiverse. Anyways, my name is Gio. I am your host for this evening. And with me are the Three Stooges. I'm just kidding. The Three Amigos, the Three Musketeers, the other ones. To my left, right on your screen, is Mr. Brian Avalosino. Brian, how's it going?
Doing good. Surviving the heat, surviving everything, pushing through. Ready for to talk some
All right. You know, it's these little hangout moments in between the Monday through Fridays that, you know, give us much needed relief and all fun, good stuff. Directly below Brian is somebody who used to host all the time, but now he's sharing because sharing is caring. It is Mr. Jacob Bartley. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I went on, I guess you can call it not really a vacation. I went out of town for the first time in a while. Just went over to San Francisco to watch a Giants game. Really good game, but of course, can you guys guess what happened? My allergies kicked in like while I'm at the game. Of course that happened. So yeah, it's just that Bay Area
surrounded
wind.
by water.
I don't know. They started like before the game, like when I was walking around the pier and stuff, but it's just different environment, different air. I was like, of course. But hey, Giants won, so it was fine.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I don't know about those allergies. I mean, Claritin, maybe some orange juice and vodka. They call that a screwdriver. There you go.
So I normally use like the store brand version of Claritin, but I bought the real Claritin and it's actually working really good. So
There you go.
Good.
nice. Yeah.
Good.
Don't be
That's what
cheap.
it's for.
Oh,
And
John,
directly
come on,
beneath
John.
Me, he is the man, the myth, the legend, the producer of all things Apocalypse, Mr. Jake Berlin. Jake, what's going on, man?
Good. I'm doing all right. I like how you said the nice way to Jacob of why he's on hosting when in reality he just got demoted. So
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. Yeah.
You said it, not me. Damn.
Yeah.
I guess I have that power, right?
If we were getting paid, my pay stayed the same though. It's just role got reduced.
Did it?
That's fine.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think I adjusted and just didn't tell you. So
Oh shoot! Oh, I'll see it on the next paycheck. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Well, and yes, as I said before, I am hosting, so I'm going to take you through this journey for the next 90 minutes. And so follow along, contribute, share your thoughts on everything that we talk about. Let us know how your week is going so far. Now, before we get started, I do want to bring something up. This wasn't in the notes, but I at least want to just bring it up, and you guys can give a quick statement if you want. Actor comedian Norm Macdonald passed away at 61 years old. This was announced earlier today. He was fighting a near decade-long battle with cancer, and he is no longer with us. Real quick, do you guys have any like memories of watching his work, whether it's SNL, movies, anything like that, for one Norm Macdonald?
I would just say SNL. For me,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much exposure to. I mean, I know him. I know of him. I've seen him in things here and there, like especially some of like the Adam Sandler produced movies and stuff.
Billy Madison.
And yeah, I mean, it's always sad when these type of things happen, especially when it's not, you know, somebody, there's people you expect to pass away, and that's still sad no matter what. But this guy's still young, man. So it's always a tragedy.
Yeah, it's mainly comedy stuff. SNL was obviously the big one for a lot of people. Jacob mentioned the Adam Sandler movies, just a couple of them, not a lot. Some of you may not remember, but he was actually in the Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittle.
Oh, nice. I forgot about that.
As one of the voices, and so his voice always kind of came through as well. Yeah, but no, it's for him to keep the cancer secret for so long is pretty impressive, and we've seen a lot of that lately. Obviously, with Chadwick 2 years ago or a year ago, excuse me. But yeah, no, he put an impact. There were clips of his comedy stuff all over the place, so he definitely put an impact.
I will bring up one of his movies that I think everyone should at least watch once. It's a movie that I saw many times growing up, a movie that is dear to my heart. It's called Screwed. It was in 2000, starring Norm Macdonald, Dave Chappelle, Danny DeVito, Sarah Silverman. It's one of those movies that you just throw on. It's stupid comedy and have a good time. So check out Screwed. Yeah, Mike Tyson mystery is the pigeon. Yeah, so there's tons of work online you guys can check out. Also, some other news. Jeff Bridges, he was going through a battle with cancer. That is now in remission, and he is on the up. So that's a little bit of good news. But let's move on. Let's get to one of the more exciting segments of Apocalypse Movies, our Now show, and that is the movie watching challenge. Oh, yeah. And this week, Brian gets to give his thoughts on the movie that I was so surprised he didn't see. A movie that, I mean, everyone I talked to has seen this movie, but now Brian gets to talk about David Fincher's 2014 Gone Girl, based on the book by Gillian Flynn, if I'm not mistaken, starring Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, Neil Patrick Harris. Who else am I forgetting?
Tyler Perry.
Carrie
Coon.
Surprise. Well-received performance, but I'll let Brian be the judge of that. Brian, take it away. Gone Girl. Fincher,
First off,
Affleck.
Jake, get out of the overlay so you don't see
What?
your choice. Second, this movie's effing bonkers. Like, bonkers. First off, these are my favorite types, trying to figure it out the whole entire time. I'm literally trying to figure it out the whole entire time. And my attention was there from the get-go. Yeah, this movie, I was just like, I multiple times was just saying, what is going on? Like, she is freaking fantastic in this movie. Like, I could literally see like some crazy housewife doing this. Like, yeah, absolutely. I did not suspect the twist. I was surprised how early they gave the twist away too.
Yeah, it's like they weren't trying to hide it for long because they use it once they reveal it to tell the rest of the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like when the twist happened, I was like, whoa, there's no way this movie's almost over. Like,
Yeah.
And so that was interesting because that doesn't usually happen for a twist type movie. Because once it happened and I realized like what was happening, I kind of originally was like, what the hell is the rest of this movie going to be about? Like,
Yeah.
they just told the twist. And then this psycho chick just keeps the shtick going. It's like, oh my God. And he's just trapped. And yeah, it was freaking wild. Then the Neil Patrick Harris part, which you guys said like right when the movie got picked, you guys, one of you was like the Neil Patrick Harris scene. So I was like waiting for that. I was waiting for something, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
He got murked. So yeah, this movie's freaking wild. Ben Affleck's really good in this too.
He is.
Yes, he
It's
is.
one of his better performances.
Yeah. Granted, like I feel like it wasn't that difficult of a role for him to do.
It wasn't, but I don't know. I feel like he was a good fit for it, so that's
Yeah.
why he played it well.
Yeah. So I think that's probably like what made him so good in it, because it was just so like easy and not like he didn't really have to stretch that much other than like the like getting upset scenes and stuff with her. But she's the whole movie, literally. The story, excuse me, the hiccups. The story, what she does, everything. Like I'm just like, oh my god, it was such right up my alley, right down the middle.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, probably one of I can't off the top of my head because I've been challenged so many, but I would say like off the top of my head, this might be like my favorite one, at least one of my favorite.
Oh, there's been a couple. I can't remember what they are. There's been a couple movies you've been challenged to that you really, really loved, but
Yeah.
we could throw this in that pile, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. This
Yeah.
one, the ones that immediately come to my head is like this one, The Breakfast Club. I can't even think of the other ones, but this one, yeah, right at my. If you can keep me trying to figure out stuff the whole entire movie, I'm locked in, like immediately.
Yeah.
So
No, that's awesome. I'm glad you liked it, because I actually didn't know you were into those like trying to figure it out kind of movies like that much.
Yeah.
I just knew that. I just think it's such a great movie that most people would like it.
yeah,
But I'm glad to hear you liked it, and especially Rosamund Pike, amazing in this movie. I love when they reveal everything and then she explains what she did. Like she explains her whole plan. I'm
dude,
like,
she
that is crazy.
so mastermind manipulative, like the calendar and just like every little detail. I'm just like,
Calendar, the hammer to the face.
yeah,
The-
God.
When
Some,
she,
a lot of stuff she did that we don't need to mention on the podcast. Some
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Crazy stuff. But
Hey,
that's a win. I'm excited. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I gotta ask real quick, Brian, that ending. How'd you
Dude.
feel?
I mean, he got trapped
Oh man.
forever. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, a couple times I was just like, what would I do?
Yeah.
There's no like, you can't do anything. It's so like manipulative to the max. It was wild. I'm definitely like, my mom is kind of like me, where she's like, she loves a good like try to figure it out type movie. So like I was like, yeah, here's a movie that you need to watch. And she's like, okay.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, it'd be like that sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I mean, there are stories out there about that kind of stuff.
I'm
Jake,
sure.
any quick thoughts on Brian's reaction? Anything at all? with the
No,
movie?
it's hard for me to come by someone who doesn't like this movie. I've shown it to many people and recommended it to many people, and they always come back and be like, wow, like it's slow, but it's incredibly thrilling. And, you know, it brings you in almost right away with the premise, and everything happens so quickly. And then it kind of wraps up in this very unneat bow on it. And that's such a Fincher thing. You know, he's done it for years. And yeah, like John said, I'll watch anything Rosamund Pike is in. I've been a big fan of hers for a very, very long time, and she was absolutely robbed of the Oscar this year, of that year, excuse me.
Who won it over her?
2014.
I want to say Kate Blanchett did for Carol, but I could be wrong.
That sounds right. That
I know
does
Jennifer
sound
Lawrence
right.
won it the year before, but
I can't even think what Carol is.
Quick shout out to Carrie Coon, who plays.
She's the best part of the movie for me. Outside of Rosamund Pike, she's the best part of the movie.
Who?
Carrie Coon.
His
I
sister.
know. Oh, his sister. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. When she
Yeah,
was
she's
like,
good.
when she was crying, like you're saying, like you're screwed. Like you literally have to like be with her. Like she crapped you. Like I was like, damn. Like what? Can you imagine like being the person like has been with you the whole entire time and you cannot help them? They're just screwed. So yeah, that was wild.
Julianne Moore won Best Actress for Still Alice, and Patricia Arquette won Best Supporting for Boyhood.
That's
Both
right. Yeah.
movies, so.
Yeah, tough to beat.
I will
there
say
you have it.
I will say also, I'm kind of glad I didn't read the book first, and I kind of am glad that I did this because I think
Yeah.
it was more of a shocking reveal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Than it would have been like in a slow burn of reading. So, yeah, maybe it was a good thing that I bought the book like 3 years ago.
And never watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Good job, Jacob.
Awesome.
All right, Brian. Well, good stuff. Now, you know what time it is, man. The floor is yours. You get to challenge somebody.
Yes.
But
so,
It's
go ahead.
not me or Jake, right?
No,
Well-
it's for Jacob.
Yeah,
Jacob.
yeah.
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 No.
That's right.
So,
So, What you got?
I knew immediately. I've known who I was picking and what movie I was going to pick since I got challenged. Pick Jake, and I told him to wait for me for the longest time to see this movie to the point where I couldn't wait anymore. So I watched it. So it's only fair that he watches it now, and that is Parasite.
Ooh.
So I cannot wait to see what he thinks of it
Wow.
because it was, for me, I loved it. So if I loved it, I feel like he's gonna.
Jake, reaction?
My reaction is, wow, I can't believe he watched it without me. And I've been waiting all this time.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
Okay.
just find that out right now?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Man.
I would be surprised if you already saw it. And just
I've never
was being
seen it.
nice.
That's why
Well,
it's on the list.
right?
That's why it's on the list of things I've never seen because I never saw it. So
Yeah. So, yeah, that is the choice.
That's a good choice.
Okay.
Have you two
well,
seen it?
Yeah, I have, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, Brian. But it being a language I don't understand and watching with subtitles, no issue. Like it's
Oh no. The
you
subtitles
dive right
made it
in,
better.
and you forget about it right away. It's just a viewing experience. But it's crazy.
Subtitles, I think, made it better. Honestly, like if they tried to remake this in English, I would be pissed. Like that's how.
Yeah, I don't even think there's a dubbed version. Maybe there is. I don't know. I actually don't know.
I'm saying like if I could see them being like, okay, let's make the
The American version of it.
No,
Yeah,
this one.
no, they shouldn't actually.
Yeah, it's perfect the way it is. So I'm very excited to see what he thinks.
Well, now that you said that, I think Warner Brothers just greenlit the Parasite American version. So
Probably.
there you go. Yeah.
Did they really? Oh no,
No,
I don't.
That's
I
Gio
don't-
taking a shot at Warner Brothers.
They're already doing that one, right? That train movie. Isn't there a train movie they're redoing? No.
I
You mean
think so.
Snowpiercer?
No.
Snowpiercer was already done. The Train to Busan?
Yeah.
That's not a Warner Brothers film. That was a Netflix.
I'm just saying, isn't that a non-American movie that they're redoing for an American now?
Well, yeah, but they do that with a lot of movies. They're doing a Parasite TV show.
Oh, they
Ooh.
are. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yes,
Interesting.
Jeffrey,
I wonder what that's
Train
gonna
to
look like.
Busan was What I was thinking
Well,
of.
That's news to me, and that's why you guys tune in. Find out stuff like that. It's exciting. Well, make sure you guys tune in next week to hear Jake's thoughts on Parasite, won Best Picture 2 years ago, I believe. And Jake will give his thoughts, and that'll do it for the movie watching challenge part of now. Let's talk about some trailers, shall we? And there were quite a bit of big trailers to come out between last now and this now. and we're talking about The Matrix Resurrections, the fourth Matrix movie starring Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, somehow, as well as Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Priyanka Chopra, Christina Ricci, Jessica Henwick, Neil Patrick Harris, and a number of other people. So this trailer, they called it a teaser trailer, but it was like nearly 3 minutes long. That's a pretty damn long trailer. And Jake and I actually did a reaction on the channel, which you guys can check out. Our first thoughts, reactions to the trailer it was like 6 in the morning, right, Jake? 6 in the morning on Thursday. Yeah, we were up early, and dedication right there. So help us out, check it out. But Brian and
go
Jacob,
give it more views.
Yes, especially because it's us two. Okay, so Brian, Jacob, you guys have yet to share your thoughts, at least to me, and I don't know, maybe you talked to Jake, but share your thoughts. I'll give you guys the first dibs. First, share your thoughts on The Matrix Resurrections. What'd you think?
So Brian, I'm curious. Are you a big Matrix guy, or have you seen them?
No, I've only seen the first one, and to be completely honest, like after seeing that, I still kind of don't really care.
Okay. Let's hear Brian's thoughts first. Then.
I think for me, it's hard to care because I know like the first one is beloved, like it's amazing, like everyone loves it. I thought it was good. I didn't like become like a crazy Matrix person over it, and then everyone poops on the second and the third one, so I'm kind of like, why do I want to see the second and the third one? And then now there's going to be a fourth one. So it's like, I'm in a weird spot with it. Like, it's like, I don't want to watch these 2 and 3 movies that I've never heard someone say a good thing about just to get to this fourth one, you know? Like, I don't know. It's kind of a weird spot where I'm like, okay. Like, I was like, cool. I'm glad people are going to like enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, we can count Brian out for the Thursday night screening of Matrix Resurrections.
I'm sure I will watch 2 and 3 mostly because of the fact that on my scratch off movie poster it says The Matrix Trilogy.
Oh, really?
I have to scratch.
Wow.
I have to watch them all to watch it.
So, they're all on HBO Max, so
yeah, I know. It's just
well,
like getting myself to watch 2 movies in a row from the same franchise that people like crap on.
You'll probably do it like the week before the movie comes out.
Probably.
Well, Jacob?
Yeah, so I was asking Brian because I wasn't sure, because I know Keith, Jake, and Gio are huge Matrix fans. I love the first one. I watched it as a kid, and I watched it like 50 times, and it's great. It's what it was like. I was a kid, I didn't understand it at the time, but now looking back and doing research, I realized it was like a phenomenon. The Matrix was. It was.
Oh yeah,
it was crazy. Like, it came out the same year as Phantom Menace, and it was like they were both huge. Like, they were both huge. And I love the Matrix. Not a big fan of the second two. Like, just it is what it is. But I like this trailer. I'm still a little bit confused, kind of like Rachel. I don't know what's going on, which is, I'm fine with that, because it's like, there's certain franchises that like we watch the trailer and we can point out every single thing, we know exactly what's going on. But there's other franchises where maybe I'm not as knowledgeable, so I don't know that much, so I'm cool with it, unless you're just showing us stuff that's brand new and we're not familiar with. But I like the trailer. I didn't love the song choice. I mean, it fit with the like literally what was going on in the trailer, but it, to me, like, it's not necessarily the vibe I want for Matrix. But I think that I'm definitely intrigued, and I'm going to be there opening night because it's Matrix. But I didn't love the trailer. I liked it.
Okay, well, Jake, can you restore some of my faith in humanity, please? And any additional thoughts on the Matrix Resurrections?
Well, the best thing that you can do going into this trailer is coming out of it saying, I have no idea what's happening, because that's what happened with the first Matrix. People had no idea what was happening before the movie, and whatever you may think of the second and the third one, the very ambitious attempt at what they tried to do, and the also very wrong decision in the third one to step outside the Matrix. The Matrix is at its best when you stay in the Matrix, and everything about this trailer was inside the Matrix, or what we know of it to be the Matrix anyway. And I mean, because the third one, for the most part, and rightfully so, that's how they crafted the story, and it took a different path. But we also know that within those first three movies, that this always happens over and over and over again. There's always a chosen one, and it continuously happens. So what's the cycle that's happening? Why is it Neo? Why is he back to being Thomas Anderson? And why is there a younger Morpheus? Like, all of those questions are obviously going to be answered, but the Matrix is at its best when you're inside the Matrix and you literally have no clue what's happening. And that's exactly what's happening in this trailer. Like, you can obviously piece some things together, and there's some really cool callbacks to the original series. And I will say that I've seen a lot of people online talking about the color palette of the film and how different it looks compared to the first three. For those who don't know, the Wachowskis, who are the creators of this, they are no longer working with the cinematographer who did the first three films. So it's gonna make a different look. It's gonna look completely different than the first three films because it's not the same person doing it. The director.
I think he disagrees with you.
Right. Chew your bone. Oh my goodness. Hey, you're fine. So for those of you wondering, like, well, why does it look so different? Why does it look so bright and colorful? Right. It's because a different cinematographer is behind the film. And so it's going to look a lot different than those first three, but that doesn't mean that the movie is going to be different. And I'm very interested. I'm very intrigued to step back into this world because there's a lot of questions. Why are Neo and Trinity both alive? Why is there a younger Morpheus? Is Neil Patrick Harris the new Oracle, which I've been saying since we saw it? There's a lot of questions out there that need to be answered, and so I'm excited to find out. And I think that the movie is going to make a crap load of money. So,
okay, real quick, because I saw some shade on 2 and 3. Okay.
Also, is Priyanka Chopra? Is she Sati?
Yes. Okay. And if you've seen the third movie, you know who that is because the movie spends.
Do you guys think that this is going to spawn a second trilogy?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, 100.
They said yeah right away.
Brian, 2 is not as bad as people say it is.
I don't think either of them are as bad as they think. It's really comes down to your opinion of the movie. Like, they are the most you have to have an opinion about this movie ever because they are so vastly different from what we kind of expected.
I think it's just for me, like, I'm not kidding. I have never heard someone say a good thing about those two movies. Not once. Like, I usually get 3 is a garbage dumpster fire. 2 is like, that's all I get. And then 1 is obviously God level. So it's kind of just like, I'm like,
well, I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about, but those movies are revolutionary in their own ways. Somebody in the chat said it. They literally built a highway. It cost like nearly $20 million to shoot an amazing sequence of freeway chase. And we're not here to talk about 2 and 3. I could talk about that.
All I know is there's like a set of like albino twins or whatever.
And they're badass.
Okay. That's all I know about those.
Badass. Yeah. But
that's
man.
2 or 3?
2.
Is that 2 or 3?
2.
Okay.
2 is just crazy with action. But anyways, the Matrix yeah, like you, Jake, and all of you out there, I have a lot of questions, but that is a very good thing, because when you watch this trailer, having seen the trilogy, and you play it back and you play it in slow motion, there is a lot to dig into with this trailer. We could literally spend a whole Now episode talking about this trailer. I shit you not. From, you know, the way they use the colors, blue and red, the blue pill, the red pill. Why does Neo have so many blue pills and whatnot? What is exactly
I think I know what it is, Gio.
Say what?
I think I know exactly what those pills are.
Go ahead.
They're suppressing his memories.
Yes. And you know what? And Brian, this is why you have to watch 2 and 3. There is a shot where it's Neo's body and his eyes are burned out. They're gone. And I just, it's tough. I don't want to spoil it.
I already forgot. The red pills or the blue pills make you go into the Matrix?
Red pill.
No, the blue pill, right? And the red pill takes you out, right?
I thought that's why he's taking the blue pill, because they're suppressing his memories.
To stay in the Matrix. I think I must have misheard you. I think
I haven't seen the original in a while, so I thought he took the red pill. Did he take the red pill or the blue pill?
I'll look it up.
In the first movie,
I definitely need to rewatch 2 and 3.
That's what I'm saying. He took the red pill to open his eyes to what the Matrix is. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm
correct.
saying.
Yes, you are correct. But
he takes the red pill over the blue pill in the first movie.
What I'm curious,
he's a blood over a crypt.
So, fuck, I can't. Damn it, Brian! You need to watch 2 and 3.
Okay, I will.
Carrie Ann Moss. I have questions.
Well, we can't spend too much longer on this, but we did see her in that birthing chamber again, Gio.
Yes,
there was a shot of her with no hair. She was in the birthing chamber. So again, is this just the cycle, or was that actually her body from Revolutions?
And then following this, Brian.
And then Lawrence Fishburne.
I'm like loosely trying not to, so that way it doesn't like.
Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. Okay, so this is not a spoiler, but from what I've heard,
I have images and I haven't used them.
The movie explains why it's Yahya Abdul-Mateen as young Morpheus. That's
he looks great, by the way. We didn't talk about him, but he looks
amazing.
We saw a couple
action scenes with him too. He looks just like Lawrence Fishburne in the role. The way he like moves and stuff. And obviously like the glasses and all that stuff. So it kind of puts to rest like who he's playing. But like, why is that the case? Why are we seeing classic Neo and Trinity, but why are we seeing a different Morpheus? It's interesting, right? Because we also have the young girl played by Priyanka Chopra now.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what is happening? Did it rebuild itself? Are the machines back? Like, what's going on? So
and Jessica Henwick looks badass.
I'm so pumped, dude. I love her. I think she deserves a role like this, and she looks badass. So
she's from Iron Fist, right?
She's from Iron Fist. She was also in The Force Awakens as one of the star pilots.
I wonder if Carrie Ann Moss recommended her like to get the role. Or
oh yeah,
maybe because they were both in Iron Fist together.
The one that gets the Iron Fist power. Oh, I love her. She's great.
She's in a lot of. She was also in a movie called Underwater with Kristen Stewart. She's been in a lot of stuff ever since.
In The Force Awakens as a pilot.
That's what I just said.
Did you say that? Oh, yeah. I didn't hear.
Only other thing I'll say is that look, okay, I know we're in a interesting, weird, strange time with the Delta variant and theaters and whatnot. This is one of those movies you definitely should see in theaters, IMAX, whatever, AMC Prime, whatever theater nearby.
IMAX for you guys, like must be IMAX.
If it was filmed in IMAX, I don't know if it was filmed in IMAX cameras, because when The Matrix came out, so a lot of people who obviously are our age probably don't know this, but those two movies, The Matrix and The Phantom Menace, I've heard multiple people talk that are in the business say that they went to see those movies 10, 20 times, not to watch the movies, but to watch the technology behind it. And because they were so revolutionary when it came to film back in the late 90s, they blew up what we knew then and created what we have now. And it was all widescreen stuff. And so they might keep it the same, but I wouldn't put it past Lana Wachowski to do IMAX. But if the film's not shot in IMAX, I won't go see it in IMAX, because I'd rather see an IMAX movie that's shot in IMAX, because that's the whole point. Like,
didn't The Matrix beat The Phantom Menace for best visual effects at
did.
the Oscars? That's
It did.
crazy. But that goes to show how good it was. Yeah.
Hey, look, this decade for sci-fis, I know I said Denis Villeneuve for Dune and James Cameron. If Wachowski knocks it out of the park, holy crap! Like, this could be an epic, time for sci-fis. That's all I will say. But we got to move on, guys. We got to move on. Let me know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts on The Matrix Resurrections, and let's go to the horror genre. And I'm gonna be more of a listener on this, because I haven't seen.
Leave.
Huh?
Leave. I want you to watch this unseen. Unheard.
Well, we're not going to get into crazy spoilers, right, Jake?
You can't tell the host to leave. That's like saying, "Hey, driver, go ahead." And
I mean,
take a nap
it's
while
up
you're
to
driving."
Gio. I don't think we're gonna have time to get into like the super crazy spoilers. But I think if we want to say something spoiler, we tell him, he mutes it for like 5 seconds, then we move on, or we like wave our hands or something. So, but he knows, so he has the warning. He has the warning.
Okay, so James Wan has a new horror movie out called Malignant. I always take a second to like talk about that damn title and the wording. But James Wan is back. He is taking a break from Aquaman and taking a break from the Conjuring universe, I think. And he is back with another horror movie. This is a day-and-date release in theaters and on HBO Max. So if you have the streaming service, and if you think the conversation warrants your time, check it out. But fellas, what did we think of James Wan's latest horror movie, Malignant?
This movie's freaking bonkers. Freaking bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers in the best way possible.
Yeah, I saw both of your tweets before I watched it, and I was like, "Uh-oh, what am I in for here?" And I watched it this morning.
Jake, did you have like the super eccentric reaction that I was expecting you to have, where like your mouth open and you're like, "Oh my god," or no, it's not. Oh my god, it's oh my god.
It's what?
Do I do that?
Yeah.
What? I didn't even notice I do that.
It's what?
So,
oh my god!
I was probably thinking one of those in my head. I was watching by myself, so like, I usually don't, talk out loud when I'm by myself. But yeah, it was kind of like that. I will say this. Look, there's been like hundreds of thousands of horror movies made that we haven't seen, but like I've never seen anything like this movie before. I've never seen anything like this. It is like, I'll say this. I didn't love this movie, and I love James Wan. I love James Wan horror movies like Saw, Insidious, Conjuring, all freaking amazing. But so I had high hopes for this. I didn't love it. It's good. It didn't feel like
Did it feel very choppy?
It did. It didn't feel like if you just show me the movie and you said, who do you think directed that? It's a director who do you think directed it? I wouldn't have guessed James Wan. I would have said maybe it was James Wan produced and then he got one of these up-and-comers to direct it. So, but it's not a bad movie, I don't think. It just felt very...
it was so fast.
Yeah.
Everything moved so fast, and they cut, and the scene cutting was also very strange at moments.
It was confusing too at times. It was a bit confusing.
Brothers.
Don't take what I'm saying wrong either. Like I was so invested in this movie. I was sitting at home.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
I was at home Saturday night by myself. I was with the dogs, and I was like, you know what? Let's watch this. Let's pop it on. And I was like, I'll have it on the background. I might be interested. Within like 15 minutes, it's like, okay, what the F is happening?
And also the fact that Jill like bullied us into watching it.
Yeah, and I was watching it, and I actually, because I started tweeting about it, and I was like, what is happening? And then she texted me, and I just like, I have never seen something so batshit crazy in my life. This is literally, I swear to you, Warner Brothers probably did this to James Wan. They brought him in for a meeting. He's like, hey, I got this really cool idea for a movie. You guys want to hear it? They're like, nope. Here's 3 big giant bags of money. You do what the F you want. He goes, awesome. No changes, no add-ons. Perfect. Let's make it. And then boom, Malignant happens. And it is the most batshit thing that you will ever see in your entire life. It is James Wan being creative as F. And I loved every second of it.
Nice. No, I liked it. It's just it
except for the pure unnecessary gore.
But a lot of gore. And that's the only reason it was rated R. There was a few curse words, no nudity. It was all the gore. And
of course he didn't realize that there was no nudity.
There's parts of it where like it kind of turns into like an action movie, which is kind of weird. And I'm like, this is kind of cool, but I don't know how to feel about it. Like it was like, am I rooting for this person doing the action or not? Like, I don't know. But all I got to say, like, it's not James Wan's best, but it is so damn unique that, like, the uniqueness elevates it for me.
I felt, for me, like, this is clearly not my genre of movies. But I felt like I was watching, like, a cheesy 90s movie that everyone loved. Like, a cheesy 90s horror movie that everyone loved. Because it was, at times, extremely ridiculous, and like, but at the same time, like, you kind of like where this movie was going, like you expected that level of ridiculous. Did I love it? No. Was I entertained? Yes. Was I sitting there going, what? Absolutely. So yeah, it was. Checked it off my list.
You know what James Wan does really well? He starts franchises very well. Saw, Insidious, Conjuring, and now Malignant. You're telling me that there's not going to be a Malignant sequel?
I mean, there probably will.
They ended it to absolutely do that.
You know what's funny is, and I don't usually do this, but someone in the Schmoedown universe, Ben Goddard, he did a reaction to the movie. And Partis brought it up in the chat. Because it was so batshit crazy, I actually turned on the watch along and I waited for those moments. I was like, I got to see his reaction to this because it is like,
that's cool.
When those happen, you don't see it coming, like, at all. A lot of these moments, and so it's that type of movie that gets like the crowd talking, and that's all you need. Whether it's good or not, as long as the word of mouth is out there and like there's people talking about it, your movie is a successful movie. Yeah, and this was a streaming versus theaters movie, and I don't know how much it made over the weekend. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't look into it, but the movie is 100% a success because Twitter was blown up by it.
Yeah,
and because Gabriel is now a terrifying legend.
Yeah, there is the word of mouth of Twitter that weekend. You couldn't see a tweet that didn't have that in there, to the point where people were like, I feel like the only person that hasn't seen this movie at this point. And it's like, yeah, you pretty much are. So I'm very curious. I would love to see. Sorry, Gio, you are the only one.
Well, I haven't even seen Shang-Chi yet. Okay.
Oh my God. What are you doing?
That is horrifying. But
I've seen this though.
Ugh.
No, I will. But it's just, oof. I've never seen anything like what the twist is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
never seen
real quick,
like it.
Don't spoil. I got a quick question for you. I want to bring Keith in real quick. Keith's backstage. Mr. Keith Barnes, welcome.
Hello,
I got
Keith.
a quick question. Now that I don't know if you've seen Malignant now, but I have to ask it. All right. Here's my question. Who, from this point on, given everything they've done so far, who's gonna, how do I phrase this, dominate horror for the next decade between James Wan and Jordan Peele?
James Wan, because James Wan does pure horror.
Yeah.
But the commentary on Jordan Peele.
Yes, but Jordan Peele does psychological, and each movie is different.
But still, I can still classify it as horror, right? But that doesn't mean there's other people to factor in as well. I mean, you could throw in James Gunn. He's been a horror guy for most of his career. Maybe even John Krasinski. You know, who knows what he's going to do in the future.
Point, yeah.
But between those two, I mean, that's James Wan's. That's like his forte. You know, but
I think that both of them are going to do stuff that's not horror in the next 10 years as much as horror stuff. So let's say they both make 5 movies in the next 10 years. I think half of those will not be horror. So if we're just weighing the horror movies, I don't know. I mean, James Wan's been doing it for a long time, and he's a legend in the field. Jordan Peele's just getting started. So I kind of feel like Peele is going to stay in the horror genre for a little bit because he's just getting started. So I would say maybe Jordan Peele, while James Gunn does more Aquamans and fast movies, not literally Aquaman and fast movies, but like bigger blockbuster stuff too.
Big budget action
well,
stuff.
just a quick question. You guys let us know your thoughts on Malignant and let us know what you think. Let's go to the MCU. Cue the music. Anyways, Hawkeye. We got our first look, a trailer, a very holiday, tis the season type of trailer, and it gave us our first look at Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld. So Clint Barton is back. He's trying to wash his hands of superheroism and spend time with family. One of his daughters says, I think it was his daughter, right? Or it might have been the wife who said, you know, this is our first time spending Christmas together in a while. And follow that up, the trailer touches on something that we saw in Avengers Endgame with Clint Barton back in his Ronin days. And so I love that we're going to get a little bit of that. We got quite a bit of Kate Bishop. So I want to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on the trailer for Hawkeye? What's your anticipation? Marvel's killing it right now with the streaming, Disney Plus. I mean, anytime you want to take a break, Marvel, Jesus. But go ahead, take it away. Hawkeye, who wants to start?
This was such a wonderful time.
Of the year.
This is the most wonderful time?
Possibly. So I will say I'm the opposite of what Jake said he was when we talked on the trailer. Was Jake was like, did you say this was your most anticipated?
This was right behind Falcon and Winter Soldier for me as far as anticipation as a series. It was the one I was really looking forward to outside of that. Because I thought like Hawkeye was finally gonna be able to get his due, right? He's been waiting for so long. And I also really, really love the Kate Bishop character. And so seeing her introduction, first of all, is obviously a big deal. But so it was second on my list out of all the things that were announced at that time.
Like before all the shows came out, right?
Yeah. So for me, I was kind of the opposite. Like I wasn't like not looking forward to it. Like I'm always going to be looking forward to a Marvel thing, but like I was just kind of like, okay, like sure, Hawkeye. I mean, like the man hasn't gotten his due. He's one of the 6, arguably he's really the last of the original 6 that hasn't gotten
a solo project,
screen time towards him. So I was excited about that. Then I saw the trailer. Now I'm really excited. Like it looks way better than anything that I thought it was going to be. And I think a lot of the time, like I'm trying to keep expectations low for Marvel TV shows because it pays off typically. Like expectation low, big payoff when you watch the show.
Yeah, Brian, you did this. You did the same thing about a year ago with Loki, Brian. You were like, Loki, Now you love it. I remember you were like, kind of like, not that you weren't looking forward to it, but I remember you saying it was like your least. You had the lowest expectations for that one.
I tend to do that with certain things because I don't want to be disappointed if it is bad, which at this point, like what is Marvel going to do that's bad so far? Knock on wood. But yeah, I just kept expectations low because I didn't really know what they could and would do. I'm not familiar.
Right.
Like, I'm not a huge Kate Bishop person. Like, I know who she is. I know what she does. I know all that stuff. But, like, she's not the main character for me. So I just kept it low. Pleasantly surprised. I love that it's a holiday-ish theme. I think that's perfect. So I love it. I can't wait. I think it's going to be – this could be a mistake.
That was very funny.
I think people are going – they're starting to, like – people are going to start wanting a Marvel, like, theatrical universe because Thor's got his own theatrical thing. Now there's going to be this. I hope it doesn't overshadow some stuff.
That's going to be bonkers. It probably is. I liked the trailer. I was caught off guard. I had no idea it was going to be Christmas themed, but I guess – the time of year it comes out makes sense. And I was looking forward to this. When they casted Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, that's when my excitement really went up because I'm a huge Haley Steinfeld fan. And so I'm excited for her and him to interact and stuff. But the trailer didn't blow me away. I get what they're going for with like the dad who got to make it home in time for Christmas to be with his family. Like, that's cool. I like that. But I'm curious is it going to be, I wonder if like there's going to be like assassin type world in this stuff with Hawkeye and the stuff he was doing.
Oh yeah. The Yakuza are coming back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah. Yes. So is that with the goofy, got to make it home to Christmas? Like, is that stuff going to mesh well? Probably, because it's Kevin Feige and he's,
well, and I think the trailer is also going to give off a different vibe than what the actual show
That's
is.
a great point. I really think the Christmassy theme is heavily in the trailer more than it's going to be in the movie.
Like, they're not going to play that song in the show, right? It's going to be something different. It's just for the trailer.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And you got to keep that in mind too. Like, even when we were talking about the Matrix trailer, same thing. But yeah, I liked it. I think it's cool. I think Gio hinted at this a couple months ago that Kate Bishop is going to be like a Hawkeye fangirl, and she's out there trying to do her own thing and be like Hawkeye. So I'm curious how that goes into play. And
like Hawkeye, she's dressing as Ronin.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if like he did something as Ronin that she really looked up to, and that's why she's kind of following that in a way. But no, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be exciting though. I can't wait. The Hawkeye character is so underrated, so this is a good show for him.
Keith,
completely agree. Yeah, totally agree. Brian, I would strongly recommend. I think I said this when they first announced it, but I would definitely recommend Hawkeye. My Life as a Weapon comic run.
I keep hearing that. I keep hearing that.
Yes, it's so good. That and Old Man Hawkeye too, which is set in the Old Man Logan universe.
Well, I don't know if you guys caught it.
They did that Old Man Hawkeye kind of in the Avengers video game.
Oh, did they? Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
So Keith, I don't know if
there seems to be. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if you caught it, but they I don't know if anybody caught it, but did you guys see that Clint was wearing hearing aids?
Mm-hmm.
He was?
Which is something that happens in the comics where he loses his hearing.
Oh,
in Old Man Hawkeye. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I heard a great versus of deaf old man Hawkeye versus blind Oliver Queen from the Dark Knight Rises or Dark Knight Returns. It would be a good versus battle.
Oh wow!
Anyway,
And Keith, you're talking about the Matt Fraction comic series, by the way.
yes. And there seems to be some hints of the My Life as a Weapon series in this, maybe, where like him having an apartment in New York, because I know that's part of the storyline in that one. He seems like he's still married, and then he does take on Kate Bishop as a apprentice, I guess. I don't know quite what the relationship is, but yeah, it looks cool. The trailer looks cool. Definitely. I got a Shane Black vibe watching this trailer. Like Shane Black was involved.
Did kind of feel like that,
right? Doesn't it feel like something he would have done if he was making this series? But I love Hawkeye. I'm one of the few. We all love Hawkeye, but like, you see people bagging on Hawkeye all the time, and I think Hawkeye's awesome. He's a great character. Jacob, you're very underrated. Like these comic series that I mentioned, like he's doing cool, and I hope they draw on some of that stuff in this series. It'd be great to see more depth, like we just talked about with Loki a few months earlier. It's great to see some more depth. You get to spend a little more time with the character, see really what they're about, and hints of it. Obviously, meeting his family in Age of Ultron, and of course the horrible thing that happened at the beginning of a Endgame with Terrible. They're gonna probably obviously draw on some of that, but yeah, it'd be great to see what the Ronin stuff, what's going on with the Ronin stuff. How did anybody know that he was Ronin? That's a weird thing going on. I don't know how Kate Bishop would know he was Ronin unless he did something that people know it's Clint Barton. I don't know, but I can't wait. I'm glad it's coming up just a couple months here. I'm super looking forward to it.
I forgot Yelena Belova's in this series. We didn't see her, right?
No.
I don't think they showed her at all.
Are you going to be able to
she's in one of the
control
posters
yourself?
I think I saw.
Are you going to be able
No,
to control yourself
Really?
with Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld in the same property? Are you going to be okay?
no, I'm not.
Okay, well, before we move on, I'll give my quick thoughts. Love the Christmas vibe. Haley Steinfeld looks great as Kate Bishop. We'll see what the character arc is. Speaking of character arc, that's my one fear, is that this will be more of a introduction pilot for Kate Bishop, because they're clearly going in a certain direction. I mean, it took this long for Hawkeye to get a series. Granted, the story could work in the story's favor, but I'm very curious to see who pops up in this series. I have a prediction. I think Jake and I are on the same page about who we think could show up in this series, and I'm crossing my fingers and hoping it's true, because this individual has been liking a lot of tweets on Twitter, and maybe that's not something, maybe it's nothing, but
Is it Zack Snyder?
hey, I didn't say it this time, okay? I didn't say it this time.
If it's speculation,
Anyways.
it's what's his name from Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
No.
No.
Kingpin.
Oh, okay.
Kingpin.
I thought you guys were talking about what's his
Oh
name?
dear
Perhaps
God! Please, Jacob.
Ronan
Jacob
pissed
can't
off.
handle adding another one.
Oh,
of his
Florence
people.
Pugh, and oh yeah, throw Kingpin in there.
Interesting.
Well, you guys think Vincent D'Onofrio is going to show up?
Yep.
He will show
Wow.
up.
And then all of a sudden, Harley Quinn's gonna just start walking by, and Jacob's
Yeah.
flatline.
He'll be
No, that's
the
too far.
first Netflix person character to pop up in the MCU.
It fits, but I don't know. We'll see. That would be crazy.
Yeah. Could be a passing of the torch for from one skilled archer to another. But we'll wait and see. That show debuts November 24th. Perfect timing. All right. Well, guys, we're going to get to our main topic now. I will let Jake take the wheel. All right, Jake, take it away.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot going on with the Marvel universe right now. Spider-Man No Way Home is about to blow it all up. We saw what Loki did just recently. We just talked about Hawkeye. What If is happening. And Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming very, very quickly, and it is being dubbed as the event film of this phase, as there is every phase. Kind of the mini Avengers movie, if you will, for the next phase of the MCU. And although there's a lot to talk about with this movie, and we know for a fact that Elizabeth Olsen will be returning to reprise her role of Scarlet Witch and co-starring in that film, Daniel Richman, who is very, very well known inside the movie space as an insider, specifically with his Marvel stuff, was in a Twitter thread the other day and came out and said the following. When someone said Doctor Strange versus Thanos scene was, they were praising the Doctor Strange versus Thanos scene in Avengers Infinity War, Richmond replied with, in Doctor Strange 2, Wanda will fight someone from the Foxverse. I'm not allowed to reveal who it is, but could top this fight. And so the Foxverse is obviously X-Men and Fantastic Four. It is anybody from that universe. We don't know where in that universe. It could be from, the First Class trilogy. It could be from the original X-Men trilogy, Deadpool, X-Men Wolverine. There's all the Fantastic Four movies, obviously. And so I wanted to have a little conversation here about, one, do we think this is true? Two, who do we want her to fight if it does happen? And three, if it is different, who do we think she'll actually fight in Doctor Strange 2 on how we see the story? Just a fun little conversation, hypothetical question here. If it is in fact true, this could be pretty big because it'll be the first inclusion of an X-Men character inside the MCU or Fantastic Four character. And that is very, very important because that's someone who we've seen before, which is also a very big deal. So, whoever wants to start, let's just kind of open the doors a little bit and talk. I want to talk a little bit about who do we want her to fight first? Who is the character the most that we would love to see her fight? And then we'll get into the serious of who do we actually think that she will fight when it comes down to the nitty-gritty. So whoever wants to go first, the floor is yours.
Keith, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm not necessarily off the top of my head, I'm going Jean Grey. Because we're talking, someone with equal greater power that could actually fight her. That's the first name I'm thinking. If it's an X-Men man or X-Woman, as Jennifer Lawrence said. But I was thinking of New Mutants and a couple of those characters, maybe. What's Anya Taylor?
Magic.
I think Magic, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking of. That'd be interesting. I don't know if we'll ever see any of those, at least those versions of those characters again. But she's pretty powerful.
Magic is incredibly powerful.
But yeah. So although she didn't have the little dragon with her. Yeah, at least not. I don't think she did. I don't recall. But did anybody see New Mutants? Did you guys see?
She had a little. I
still haven't seen it.
That's in the comics. She has her little dragon with her.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, she has a little dragon. I don't think it was in the movie, but I don't recall. But
it was.
But
it was the puppet.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, it was the puppet.
Oh, wow, I don't even remember. Okay, yeah, you know what? You're right. That's right. I forgot. That was such a nondescript.
Lockheed, isn't that it?
Lockheed. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
I'm on the Jean Grey train. I think it makes sense.
But I'm thinking Jean Grey. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes sense, and it would be really, really cool to see Famke Janssen come back.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. If it's Jean Grey or Dark Phoenix, or is it Famke Janssen or?
Well, so if you're playing in the idea of bringing these characters over and the story continuing, you want Sophie Turner, right? You want Sophie Turner to return as the character because she's younger. She only got so many movies of the character, and she really only became Jean Grey in that last movie, right? She only really became that character.
Give us our third Stark.
Yeah, no, seriously. So Jean Grey, and like he said, her power is the only one that can match Scarlet Witch. Plain and simple. Hers is the only one that can really. I know Professor X is definitely an option. Magneto is like,
Magneto,
but-
come on.
but
don't
unless she
disrespect
has
Magneto.
metal on her, it's like, what
Maybe.
does that really do? You know,
Uh,
I think the roles are limited for a character in the X-Men universe. Now, Fox universe, I don't know. I mean, Doom.
So that's
Dude.
where I want. So it's weird because we have to choose from characters.
Sure.
Like this specific rumor is like characters we've already seen in the X-verse or the Fox-verse, right? So like if it's Doom, we have either like Julian McMahon or Toby Kebbell.
Give
like,
me Toby Kebbell. Give me Toby.
I'm cool.
I would
Like
have said McMahon.
God.
No, give me Toby
I
Kebbell.
would love because I think you can do things with Doctor
Oh,
Doom where he can
Please
fight her.
don't.
But I would rather see. I want to see a new Doctor Doom in the MCU.
Same.
Oh,
Yes.
you will.
So
Yeah.
I think the thing it's hard because like, look, I could say I want Wolverine to fight her, but like, she'll just disintegrate him, right? Like I feel like they're
They
gonna
did
do
like the
something
last
where,
stand all over again.
What?
yeah, they're gonna exactly. That's what came to mind. But I feel like they're gonna do something in the Multiverse of Madness, like whatever's going on, wherever she is at the time. Maybe she can't access the full Scarlet Witch powers or something because like unless she's
This
fighting.
would be cool.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm just wondering visually,
Yeah.
what would be a great fight visually?
So it has to be someone who can fly, right?
Yeah,
It has to have
so-
someone who can like almost shoot their powers.
Because you know what I don't want a mind fight with Xavier. That's
Yeah.
what I don't want. Like him in Apocalypse, like
Yeah.
fighting it in their heads. I don't want
But-
that. I want a physical fight.
Yeah. I
Got
don't
it.
want two people flying around firing lasers at each other either. Like I don't.
But do you want
Get
like
outta
a
here.
mind
We see
battle
that all
though?
the time.
Get out of here, Keith. Get
Yeah,
out
didn't
of
we
here.
just see that with WandaVision?
What about
Yeah.
someone like
Exactly.
like Storm?
They just did that.
What about someone like Storm, where her powers could throw Wanda down, or the return of James Marsden as Cyclops?
I would love
He'd
that.
get his ass handed to him.
True. Yeah. What could he do?
Yeah, he would.
Give me Nightcrawler just poofing everywhere.
There's probably like a side character in one of the X-Men movies we're not thinking of.
That's
that
what I'm
is,
trying.
like-
I'm racking them
powerful
all through
enough.
my brain in the X-Men movies of all the characters.
Well, I think there's obviously like a few candidates. I think Rogue is one I didn't think of. That's a possibility because if we
That's
get
a good
because
one.
Rogue she can up her power level if she wants to.
she takes Wanda's powers.
Exactly. That's
She
what I'm
she
saying.
essentially absorbs that power and uses it against
Mhm.
her. And
So
and
Rogue's an option.
And
yeah,
drain her
and she
life.
flies and she can fly.
Are we gonna get Anna Paquin? Like Anna Paquin's gonna stick
See,
around.
that's the only Rogue we know of, though. So if it's someone we've seen from the Foxverse, it would have to be Anna Paquin.
What if it's Deadpool?
That'd be
No,
amazing.
that
I mean, he can regenerate himself.
Yeah.
true.
I wouldn't
true.
rule that. Yeah, I wouldn't rule that out.
Josh Brolin as Cable.
That would be so funny if all of a sudden you just hear like
Ooh, you know what?
his voice.
That's not bad.
We're 1,000% getting Josh Brolin as Cable in the MCU. It's happening.
I hope
You
so.
think?
It's
I
happening.
don't know because his voice is just
It's 1,000%
it's that-
happening.
he cannot change his voice.
It
and it's
doesn't-
just gonna be like
Look what they did with
listening
Gemma
to Anna.
Chan. Gemma Chan's playing two characters. They're going to give it to Josh
Yeah,
Brolin
but
too.
that guy's
Yeah.
voice is just too.
It's happening.
it's-
I'll put $50 on it right now. That's going to happen.
When I hear his,
He doesn't
uh,
sound. He talks with his regular voice, though. It's not.
stop. When I hear his
But they make it.
commercials, I'm like, oh, there's Thanos.
Well,
Like-
I think Keith is saying they modify his voice a little bit for Thanos, but
Gio,
does
you're
sound
awfully
like
quiet
him.
over
for
there,
Thanos.
man.
Yeah.
Gio
just
already
listening.
knows. He already knows.
yeah, exactly.
Is it Superman?
Yeah.
Superman would wipe the floor.
That'd be-
with
I
Star
don't
Wars.
think so.
No, he
I
wouldn't.
don't think so.
Get
Ah.
out of here.
No, that's not true.
It's
Because
not
Kryptonians,
fair,
Aren't they
honestly.
susceptible to magic?
They
Oh,
are.
yeah.
That's one of his
He's
weaknesses. Yep.
susceptible to magic.
Magic
Yeah.
and kryptonite. That's
So-
it.
He's fucked. He's
Yeah.
fucked.
And Lois Lane. And don't forget Lois Lane.
Love.
True. And
This
Mark.
guy, these guys. No, I mean,
That's why Zatanna always messes with him.
we know Hugh Jackman will be in the movie, but
That's not happening. That's not
really,
Gio
wanna
says
put-
it like it's 100,000%
Yeah.
confirmed.
Like,
you you want to put $50 on that?
That's not
No.
happening.
But
But
I don't want
anyways,
to take $50 away from you. You're a hard
as
working
far
man.
as far as fighting, give me Magneto. Give me Michael
think so,
Fassbender's
too.
Magneto. We were robbed of a fight between Apocalypse and Magneto in X-Men Apocalypse. As bad as that movie was, I mean, you had it right there at the end when Magneto sees his son get, beat up by Apocalypse. He should have just straight up unleashed. Like Magneto, he's nothing to mess with, man. So, I mean, that's who I would want to see. It's the Multiverse of Madness. You're bringing in an established character, one we've already seen on screen, and if you're gonna bring him in, it makes sense. It would either be Fassbender or McAvoy, one of those two, at least in my opinion,
or Jean Grey, one of those,
or Jean Grey. If it is a one-off, as in you're only going to be in Multiverse of Madness.
See, I if they bring someone in, this person is staying for a while.
Okay, see that I was going to pose the question to you guys: is if this person, this happens, is this person going to stay, or are they just?
It's the same reason why I think that we're not just going to see Toby and Andrew Garfield once. I think we'll also see them in this movie. You don't sign these people for what, like a week of shooting or something. You sign them for something a little more. Like if you're gonna like, say it is Magneto, and say it is Michael Fassbender. There's no way you only get him for one movie. You have Michael Fassbender, and you're not going to lock him down for more movies. There's no way. So all these characters, quite honestly, they all have really big names behind them. Sophie Turner is a very well-known young actress. Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy. I mean, even down the line to someone like Cody Smith-McPhee playing a young Nightcrawler, he's very well-known in the movie business. Like, they have a lot of big names in the X-Men universe. You don't just bring them in for one movie. You bring them in for a storyline, and that storyline is well past just one story or one movie. Excuse me.
It's gonna be.
It depends.
It's gonna be that guy who Wolverine kept cutting his arms off in X-Men 3. It's gonna be that guy.
Oh god,
Oh, that guy.
I'm trying to think. Could it be one of the villains that we've seen in any of those movies?
the only one I thought of was
Juggernaut?
Jessica Chastain's, because that would establish another alien.
Yeah, but-
race.
That's interesting. Yeah, but I think it'll be more like a character, like a big character that we're familiar with. But
See now, okay, here's the thing. With it seems
Will I am.
most
It's gonna be
obvious
Will I am.
in my stop it.
oh my goodness!
Can you imagine if they brought the
The
Deadpool-
Blob.
I'm down. Can you imagine if they finally like brought Deadpool,
Yeah.
like after all these people have been bitching, like bring us Deadpool, blah, blah, but they brought the one from X-Men Origins, and they're like, here's Deadpool.
Just
But
for
that-
wanting to kill him, so we know he's
Oh,
really
that-
dead.
Yeah,
that one died.
Swords in his
Multiple times.
I know. I
in
was
his
kidding.
arm.
You know what would be badass
Yeah,
if Xavier and Magneto have to fight her together. I could see something like that.
Here's the real question, right? Like,
Sure.
How powerful do we want?
Is
to make
it-
Scarlet Witch?
is
She's
it
that powerful though.
is it a
She's
is it a
that
story of them fighting her to stop what she's doing, or is it a story of them fighting, thinking that they're enemies? Like what is
They think she's
what's
a
the
threat.
situation? Is Wanda going to be the one that they're trying to stop because she's creating all this chaos, or do they just come into contact not realizing they're on the same side?
That one.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean,
House of M. I don't know. House of M is
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it actually
House of
might
M is
be
like-
her
they're
being
we
like
have
the
to kill
bad
her.
person. Yeah, which I want to see
Yeah.
personally. And it's Sam Raimi. That dude gets dark.
So here's my thing. I don't think it will be a Jean Grey Dark Phoenix, because I think personally Feige probably wants to tell that story and make it perfect. I don't think he wants to take from these two other versions that were not popular, did not like become great things, and then build off of that, because then that's putting too much stock
the
into
Phoenix
those.
Saga.
Yes, like I don't think like he needs to tell his own Phoenix, to me, in my opinion, because then we're just getting you're just gonna it puts too much importance on like something like Dark Phoenix. That would be wild, but that's why I truly think it's Fassbender. That's who I think it is.
I mean, he's probably the only guy that would sign on willingly. Him and McAvoy, right? Like,
Probably.
the others would probably like really think about it. Fassbender would probably be like, "Hell yeah! Like, sign me up in a heartbeat. I'll come back. Whatever you guys want me to do." He's always been so interested in, loving the part of Magneto, and same with McAvoy as Xavier. But as far as a fight goes, if you choose between two, it makes more sense for Magneto. Because, like Jacob said, you don't want to see a mind fight happen. And also, we have to keep in mind that Magneto is technically her father. So they haven't obviously established that, but he is her father in the comics. And that could play into what's happening here. So.
Yeah, that would make sense.
What the hell else is he doing? He hasn't done anything for a while, has he?
I mean, a lot of his projects haven't worked out.
I mean, he lost his other daughter. He lost Polaris. So.
Fassbender, you mean, Brian, or Magneto?
Oh, that would be dope to establish Polaris in this somehow.
Well, that's the interesting thing is if it is Magneto and they do connect the universes, Polaris already died. She died in Apocalypse. So she was killed in the forest.
That was her? Oh,
that was Polaris. Wow. So if they continue the story of his story from these movies... then Polaris wouldn't be involved at all. So
Kevin Bacon. It's going to be Kevin Bacon. He's going to come back.
Oh my God, that'd be so good. I would love that, Keith. I would love it.
Coin through the dome.
I would love it. Hey, Keith, do you know his name? Do you know his name in the movie?
Sebastian Shaw.
That a boy.
Damn it! It is Magneto because the helmet and she can't get in his head. Hypothetically, just like Xavier can't.
You know what? Yeah, that's good.
Well, so, yeah, but her powers,
unless it's like Dark Phoenix wearing the helmet or something.
But her powers have gone so far past.
That's true.
Getting into
but
lines,
if you can take that away, like it's one thing you don't have to worry about, during the fight.
Jake, if you get Fassbender, he can convince Alicia Vikander, I mean, that's his wife, to eventually do something in the MCU.
I want Alicia Vikander to be Spider-Woman, so.
Ooh. That'd be cool.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
She'd be great in anything.
She would be. You're right.
Did we do casting table? We did that, right? Spider-Woman?
We did Spider-Woman, yeah.
I think we did. Yeah.
Keith.
We still got to do Zatanna.
I don't remember who I said. I think I said.
Man, all right. So if you guys had to put money on it today, and this was happening, but we don't know who it is, who would it be? Because we've thrown around a lot of names.
Fassbender.
You know what? Hold on a second. Hold on. No. Before that, we haven't talked a single lick about Fantastic Four, except for Doom.
Well, Doom, because what other character would fight her? Maybe Invisible Woman.
Grab Galactus.
I guess Doom really is the only one, and I mean, how close is Latveria to Sokovia? Well, I mean, that could play into
their neighbors. Didn't they say that in a show?
Yeah. So,
I mean, Human Torch could maybe. I don't know why, but I mean, maybe.
What about the Thing?
If it's Chris Evans as Human Torch, oh my goodness.
What about the Thing?
I mean, he could punch her.
If it's the Silver
Surfer.
Oh,
see, I was thinking that too.
Okay, Silver Surfer. Yep,
and get Lawrence Fishburne back to voice him. Ooh,
Silver Surfer is powerful.
So Silver Surfer.
Keith's on the Surfer train.
Absolutely.
Okay,
that'd be mine. Okay, I'm Silver Surfer.
You put money on Silver Surfer?
Okay, so back to Jacob's question. With all that said, back to Jacob's question. So go ahead.
No, I was just saying, we've thrown around a lot of names. if you had to stick to one, like as put $50 on it, like who would it be? I mean, Magneto's a good one. I'm gonna go like I think Magneto's a great option. I'm gonna go Professor X. I just think it's someone who can go toe to toe with her. So I'm gonna go Professor X.
All she has to do though is just push him out of the wheelchair, and then.
Didn't you say though that you don't want to see a mind battle?
I'm saying all right. So what I think it's gonna be and what I want is different. So I'm saying if I had to put money on it, I would say Professor X. What I want is Doctor Doom as a sorcerer fighting her, but I'm not gonna get that. So,
Gio, what do you think? Or Brian, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think it's Magneto. It's the
Fassbender. Magneto.
Fassbender's amazing.
No, that makes sense.
It's a purse. We don't know if that's actually could be her dad or whatever. Well, who knows? They could pull that card. And let's be honest, like Artie said, Marvel loves to have daddy issues. And here's another one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's not what I want, but I do think it's going to happen. I'll put my money on Magneto. I'd rather have Jean Grey, but the connection goes directly towards Magneto. Yeah, I can't wait for it to be someone like Angel or something, or Beast.
I know,
like something random. So
who would be like the stupidest one to
Beast,
grab?
that'd be great.
Toad.
The most Toad.
Yeah.
I told you that guy. Toad, yeah.
Well, no, there's no.
Who's,
what about
Fire? The fire guy?
Pyro.
Pyro? No, there's what's the
Pyro. Yeah.
I'll take Iceman any day.
There's a character in
Let's see Iceman again.
a character in X3 that's like a porcupine.
Oh, the Spike guy. I think his name is Spike.
like that would be the most random
from,
thing, I think.
the guy from Force Awakens.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
That
right.
is
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
just really
That would be the most random thing of all time. Him trying to shoot spikes at Scarlet Witch. She's like,
Yeah.
really, bitch? Like, really?
Hey, I don't know how, but Kitty Pryde could be a candidate.
Kitty Pryde's
Like,
powerful, man.
She is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Powerful.
Maybe
I
she
would
can
love to-
phase through
She could-
anything that
yeah.
Wanda tries
Bring
to
Elliot
do.
Page.
Yeah.
Bring Elliot Page back to play.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
That'd be dope.
I'd be down for that for sure.
I'm literally racking my brain of
Yeah.
pointless mutants. What's the multiple man guy that literally
There's
just
a lot of them.
multiplies?
A multiple man.
Yeah. Trying to think.
Well, this includes Daredevil too, though, right? Wasn't the Daredevil's part of that?
I guess technically,
Fox-
or he wasn't
Fox
in the.
was-
What?
He was-
what you're gonna bring Colin Farrell Bullseye into this?
Fox. Yes.
I mean,
Yes. Bullseye.
he hits. He's the one that takes her out with the.
to be
The
completely
dart.
honest, I would love to see more Liev Schreiber
Don't
at
stick at it.
Sabretooth.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
this
he
is the
would
way
do
we
it,
get
man.
Taylor Kitsch Gambit.
Yeah, I know, right?
That would be kind of cool. Taylor
Give me
Kitsch
that,
needs
give
to
me
be
that
in
story.
something.
Taylor
Yeah.
Kitsch's Gambit.
Or,
Taylor Kitsch and we'll fan cast Rogue later, but give me a Gambit and Rogue Disney Plus series.
I'll take Negasonic Teenage
100%.
Warhead. I loved her.
Ooh. She could probably fight her.
Just
No,
so
her
cute.
friend, Yuki, Yuko.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? Yuki. Oh, hi, Yuki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that movie.
Okay, Gio. Before we go off the
That's
rails, you can close this off, man.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it. Make sure you guys leave your thoughts on all the topics we talked about here on Apocalypse Movies Now. And before we head out, I'll let everyone give their plugs, where they can find you online, social media, other channels. Start with Brian.
You can find me on A Certain Point of View with Jake. If you are into Schmodown type things, movie trivia. So yeah, you can find me there. Jacob.
Oh, are we just going in? You can find me on Twitter at Jacob Barley 824. Of course, here on Apocalypse Now every Tuesday. And also, if you're into football or fantasy football, check out First Round Fantasy on YouTube. We cover fantasy football every week, so come check it out.
Oh yeah, how are you 49ers fans doing with Mostert being done for the year?
We don't need them. We don't need them
for the year.
Mr. Jake Berlin.
Yeah, you can find me here
Wow.
all the time doing all kinds of crazy things. Don't forget to check out our show Marvel Rewind, where we are covering all the Marvel Disney Plus series. We're currently in the midst of What If, and they just released a mid-season trailer that's going to bring bonkers chaos the back half of the season. So we have about 4 episodes left. Check that out. I also have a little show called The Whiskey Jedi. I have 2 shows coming up here very soon with 2 guests I'm very excited about doing. So check that out as well. And on POV with Brian. And I think that's it. Okay. Yeah.
Your Twitter?
Qui-Gon Jake. Yeah, you know it. Go find it.
Mr. Keith Barnes.
Hey, hello, good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hey.
I'll talk about The Matrix another time because you guys know I'm a Matrix scholar. I can't wait for this movie. You can find me, though, maybe on some channel talking about it. Obviously,
Maybe
here on
Bartley and
Pocket
Barnes.
Flicks. Maybe Bartley and Barnes. I don't know. We'll get around to it sometime eventually.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
And then we're working on. No, I'm just teasing. Yeah, we're working on it. Same thing with my man Gio over on Fandom United. Just trying to. You can find me on both into Apocalypse movies, and and then on Twitter at Keith Barnes 79. I love you.
That's his whole Twitter handle, by the way.
All right, well, you guys can-
Yes. At Keith Barnes 79. I love you.
I am on Twitter just barely these days now that I'm working insane hours, but at Grey Goose Jedi. Of course, the Pocket Flicks movies now on Tuesdays and reactions, rewind, Fando, all of it. And we'll see about Fandom United. I'm struggling to find time, so I'll give you an update as soon as I have one. And I want to plug next week's show. So here's the little preview. We are doing a draft, a movie draft, and we are drafting The Breakfast Club. That's right. We are doing a remake of the classic John Hughes. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see how that goes. But that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next Tuesday, you guys take care.
Rest in peace, Norbert Donald.